Welcome to the Just Pull the Trigger podcast.
We talk to people who have made the pivot, whether in business, career or life.
And find out what happens when you stop overthinking and just go for it.
Today, we're chatting to Camilla and Emma from Salcombe Tallow. In the episode, we discuss how changing your environment can change your life, the strengths of having a yin and yang partnership, and where exactly can you rub tallow. All this to come on Just Pull the Trigger.
Are we recording?
Yeah,
we're
we've been recording for 5 minutes.
Oh God, you've got to make sure you cut that out then. Jesus.
Yeah, that'll go the bloopers.
Yeah.
Tallow, Salcombe Tallow.
Hello.
So, for people who don't know,
Me?
yeah, Lee actually said yesterday, we were talking about it, because I know a little bit about it, because I actually use it, believe it or not.
Love that.
Right.
What do you use?
I don't know, tallow.
Okay.
And I just sort of rub it everywhere. And Lee went, where do you actually rub it? You know, like...
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So for people who don't know, tallow,
Yeah.
can you explain what it is? And
We
Do you wanna
can.
go?
Shall I start?
Yeah.
So tallow is beef fat.
yeah,
We're very lucky. We both live in Devon on a beautiful farm. I moved back in 2018 and Camilla moved last year.
Yeah.
Feels like you've been there forever.
I know.
And we live next door to each other on a farm. So tallow is the fat, doesn't necessarily come directly from our farm, but we go to the abattoir where all of the cows locally to us will go.
yeah.
And it's a byproduct that comes from the cow. So we go to the abattoir, we pick up a load of beef fat, and it comes in big bulk.
Just like as it is raw sort of beef.
Yeah.
Raw, yeah, so it's from all the local organic farmers, and then we just go in and we literally just get a slab of beef fat. As
Kilos
pure
and
as it,
kilos.
yeah,
Really?
as pure as it comes. Like it's literally, and I remember when we very first decided to do it, because I've been using tallow for quite a long time, because there's a few other brands that sort of do it, but not many people knew about it. Emma also was doing similar, and then because we were just surrounded by all this amazing agriculture and like thriving with nature, we were always talking about just breaking it back down to simplicity. Well, I think we can do this ourselves. And I remember I think we just went to the local butchers, didn't we? And we just got some tallow. We were like, have you got any tallow? They were like, we've got so much tallow. Like, how much tallow do you need? We were like, how much is it? They were like, 2p. Like literally, they just try and get rid of it. They don't use it. And we did it. But then obviously when we decided to scale, and it was our first time at the abattoir, literally this guy comes out and he's got like, they're just this, it's technically it's a slaughterhouse to a degree. I know it's sort of like it's not a very nice way to think about it, but it is. And it, it's a circle of life. And this is what we talk about a lot, about, honouring the cow's life and giving it the best life possible. And it is the circle of life. Animals kill other animals to feed and survive, and I think it's whatever way you look at it. It's strictly not for vegans, I suppose, for us, but he handed us literally this massive bag of tallow, and we were kind of a bit like, whoa, like,
Yeah, it was really quite
it was
real.
big and it was real.
Yeah.
And we were like, right, where do we start with this,
Yeah.
And we just, we take it back to our farm kitchen, we break it down, we sort of blitz it so it creates like almost like a light mincemeat sort of consistency, and then we just double render it, so we double boil it.
So you're actually making this stuff yourself?
We're literally doing it all ourselves.
Oh, I did not know that. Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
you might have bought the tallow from...
No.
No,
giving it to someone else, or...
We
so you're literally
go
making this
through
all
the whole
out. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's literally, so it's beef fat. That's basically what tallow is. And like Camilla said, we render it down, and the most beautiful oil, looks a bit like an olive oil. It's so rich in fat-soluble vitamins, tallow, A, D, E, and K. So it's amazing
nutritious
for your skin. And it's actually something that they used to use years ago. They've been using tallow for years in many forms. But then I feel like, especially in the cosmetics industry, as we evolve, there's lots of chemicals, there's lots of things that get mass produced, and it's sort of,
I think we're now just in such an era of like perfection and synthetic perfection. So like, you want to see a cream, you want it to be like a certain consistency, you want it to look a certain colour. And if you notice any of your natural products that you use in your kitchen or anything like that, i.e. like coconut oil, when it's warm it goes like liquid, and when it's cold it will like solidify, and it creates different patterns every time, or some bits are lighter, some bits are darker, and some people will get put off by that sort of thing. And I think this is what we're sort of trying to teach people is this stuff was used years and years and years ago. And if you think about it, like it's animal to animal. So all these fat soluble vitamins that tallow have, we also have as humans. So that's why it's so compatible, and our bodies recognize it and it absorbs it. So if you can kind of not just look at something as like a synthetic product, like, and I know it's our senses, isn't it? So that's why we have a scented balm for people that enjoy that kind of like, what do they call it, aromatherapy, like they enjoy having that calm, like, well, so we've tried to create something that feels quite luxurious, and people get like, in essence, even just our packaging and things like that, it feels nice, it looks nice, but we're also educating people on it changes its form as well. It's a natural product, so it's not always going to look like, if it's warmer it will sort of go a little bit runnier, but then when it's in the fridge, if people like it a bit harder, it will be a bit harder. So it's shifting people's perspective on something that's really good for you and highly nutritiously dense and non-toxic, and it's going to do something for you, in comparison to what it looks a bit funny, and I much prefer something that looks pretty. It's just going, actually, look, we're all different, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's all very much just, we talk about, like, you've got teenage daughters and the cosmetic is all bright colours, look at me, oh, it's pink, it's this and that, oh, you get a free whatever with it, and it's all trying to entice people to actually move away from what naturally, like, we just talk about breaking it down, simple skincare routines, and just embracing natural beauty.
I think the cosmetics industry, not that I know too much about it, but it's all sort of like built to sort of catch your eye, isn't it? And like the packaging, it's like packaging, could be anything in that. You just
celebrities backing it, you know, it's anyone who's on the packet, and, you know, TikTok stuff like that. It's just, it's that kind of.
And I think now we're just trying to get, especially teenagers, to just not just look at that, but look at the back of the packet and look at the ingredients
and understand it. What's in it?
How's this going to affect your body?
How's this affecting me? Because that's the other thing, I think, with anything you put on your body. You know, there's certain things you wouldn't put in your mouth because you think this is going to harm me. So again, it's about education, because it's like trying to get other people to understand that the biggest organ that you have is your skin. So anything that you put on your skin absorbs, your body absorbs it, it goes into your bloodstream, so it's going into your body. So it's having that awareness, and, you know, most of us don't, you know, we put stuff on, we're not even thinking to check the ingredients on the back.
You do know that though, don't you? Like, you're telling me this, it's not something I don't know, but it's not something I think about.
You don't think about. And I think
Jade just give me something, I just go,
okay.
This is
it. We're so funny. So we went to farmers, a big farm shop in Devon that we launched our product in the other day, and ironically we were set up next to the butchery, like where they sell the meat, and I said to Emma, I said, oh, maybe we could angle it that after, like, there's a couple of like older guys going to get their meat for the week, and, you know, once they've put all their meat in their basket, like, just, you know, slide in there and go, oh, like, I noticed you've got your meat, would you ever consider putting beef fat on your face? Have you ever thought of it as skincare? So Emma, you sort of went over, didn't you? She was like, I've got this, I'm going to go over. And I was like, great. And you said to this guy,
17-year-old guy,
I'll let you say.
Yeah, he was 17. He's got all his meat in his trolley. Love him. And I said to him, do you know what tallow is? And he's like, no, I've got no clue. I said, it's beef fat. I said, and we're positioned over there. We make our own tallow balm, our own skincare. Do you want to try it? So we had a few little tester pots. He was like, no, not interested. He went, I've been using, I think it was number 7 or something like that my whole life. My wife's over there. My wife's over there. She's used number 7 her whole life. I went, well, you look amazing. And he went, you should see my wife.
He did.
And
it's just stuck. I think people are so stuck in their ways, aren't
you
they?
get used to using what you're used to, right? And we know if we don't change things, we don't grow. So it's like, and they talk about that actually in cosmetics a lot. You can use the same cream over and over again, but over time your body adapts. Your body gets used to that. No different with anything, with exercise. Your body adapts and then it plateaus. You don't get any better. It doesn't improve. So it's actually quite good to change things up. And for us at Salcombe Tallow, it's all about getting back to basics, thriving with nature, trying to educate like the likes of my teenager, and I've got 3 girls, Camilla's got 2 children, but educate them from a young age the importance of what they're putting not only in their mouth but on their body.
On their body. And we're really high on, i.e. like our Salcombe Tallow snake. So obviously it's a symbol of shedding and renewing. So snakes shed their skin, they renew their skin. And so for us, it's about teaching people to kind of leave the old sort of like habits, or people talk a lot about non-toxic living, so that sort of all these toxins and things that don't serve you anymore, and leaving them behind and starting this new sort of ethos, I suppose, into just connecting. I think connection is like the most influential factor into longevity. I think people say that, don't they? Not even just, just when you get your coffee in the morning, say hello to the barista and all of these things, and connecting with nature as well is huge. And that's what we've really realised when we're living this farm life, is actually connection. It comes in so many different forms. And I think moving and we notice so much as well, the seasons on the farm change all the time. So when Emma says about changing and, not just staying, the same and plateauing, it's, well, okay, what's this season bringing me now? We're coming into sort of coming out of summer, and we're going into autumn. You see all the fields are starting to turn that sort of browny colour. They've all the harvests are sort of coming in, and it's always regenerate. And this is why we talk about regenerative farming. Serving the land, not just taking from it all the time. And this is what our whole ethos is about. It's shedding, it's renewing, and our symbol of our snake in it has got other symbols, and they all mean something to us personally. And as we grow, like anything, we'll change, we'll develop as a company, and we'll change them symbols. So again, we just kind of wanted to bring people on our journey and see us grow and change, because we will.
Does the seasons have an effect on the production at all, or not really?
Not for us on the farm, no. We're lucky. There's lots of abattoirs all around the country that are shutting down, whereas we've literally got one on our doorstep near enough. It's like half an hour from us in the car. So that's,
we're really lucky.
We're really lucky for that.
Do you have to buy it take it fresh all the time? You can't really store it or freeze it or anything.
Does it expire at all? Or?
We can freeze it.
Yeah.
So we go weekly. So we know that the organic fat we can pick up on a Wednesday. So we call ahead. And then we go Wednesday morning and we pick it up.
And that's our render day. So we don't freeze it. We just use it as, it will literally come out that day and we get it back. We render it straight away. And because we render it to literally its purest form, so then we store it, and you can store tallow for like 3 years. If it's done properly, it's got a really long shelf life. So and obviously it has got to be done properly and things like that. We don't use any water. There's there's nothing in there apart from tallow. So it can be stored for a long time. There's no worries on that.
So where did you learn to do all this rendering? I know it's effectively just boiling, but I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of research. I think, we
getting it wrong.
Getting it wrong so many times. Getting it wrong. But I think the first time we ever did it, we literally just shoved it in like a saucepan. And it was like cooking a roast. It was like this sizzling.
Yeah.
It was all brown. We were like, it really smells and it's brown. I don't think this is right. And then we just did so much research, and talking to like farmers' wives, like it's such a tallow is so like people use it to cook. People still do use it to cook. There's so many things that you can do with tallow. But they all used to do this back in the day. Like they would render it up. Your mum, she used to do it, and she knows a lot about like me. And I think again you disconnect from actually people cooking from fresh and doing all these things. And actually we found it is sort of the older generation that go, oh yeah, tallow, we know, we used to do that, or this and stuff. So just research and getting it wrong, and then finding the
just
perfect
trial and error,
working it out. And it's really interesting because we have in our barns we have our tallow, so that's our beef fat, and then we add organic cold pressed olive oil. We have beeswax and honey, which all comes from the farm. We have a couple of hives on the farm, which is amazing. So we use Salcombe Bee Company, and they have their bees on the land where we live, which is amazing. And we combine all those ingredients, and it does make the most beautiful balm. But again, through just trial and error, you add the ingredients at different temperatures and at certain times, and certain consistencies, so that you get the benefits from every single ingredient that goes into it. So I say it's a bit of a labour of love. It does take a bit of time, but what we've produced, and you know, our customers, the feedback that we're getting from our customers is just fantastic, because everybody's loving it. And it's one of those things that you can use for everything. So it can be a moisturiser.
I was going to say, what does it actually, what's the benefits? What does it do?
Well, you can use it as a moisturiser. You put it on the girls' cuts and grazes. You know, it's great for fine lines and wrinkles. It's great for dark spots as you age. It's great for dark circles under your eyes because of all these beautiful fat-soluble vitamins and all the other benefits that you get from the other ingredients.
So something like honey is antimicrobial.
Microbial.
So it's basically it helps heal, so it takes all the inflammation out, and people back in the day used, if they'd get like a cut or anything, they would literally just put raw honey on it and it would heal it. So it's a bit like an antiseptic, like it take any bacteria or anything in that. We've not said that word right, I can't remember what it's called. Antimicrobial. It's not bile though. You've got to cut this bit out.
Antimicro. I'm not going to say it because, but it doesn't matter. The fact is,
antimicrobial.
Antimicrobial.
Right, which bit do I need to start again from? Honey.
This is all going in.
So honey. No, but for honey, it's antimicrobial. So that means it will it will help heal, and it will reduce risk of infection. So that's why when my girls, they bumps or grazes and things like that, you put it on and it just really helps heal, takes all the inflammation out. The beeswax creates like a protective barrier for the skin, and then the olive oil is so much antioxidant, so it helps protect against like free radicals in the environment, and then really hydrating. Obviously you've got all your fat soluble vitamins from the tallow, which do lots of things, i.e. like helps promote clear skin, again high in antioxidants, helps rejuvenate fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots. It literally does everything, and then we have a scented and unscented. So the lavender, we have a cold press organic lavender.
Is that the two different types? Is it Frida and Ida? Is that right?
So Frida,
I that right?
We actually identify our balms as people.
Right, okay.
So Ida is like your great grandmother. Right. She's got like a really calming influence. So somewhat you just feel like she's giving you this lovely hug, and you just feel instantly calm. And I always sort of think you'd go to your great grandmother and she'd cook you the most nutritious meal, just, you know, old school, you know, meat to veg, like just really nutritious and calming. And yeah, that's who Ida is. And she's infused with an organic lavender oil. So you put her on, and my mum loves putting her on her feet at night. She's like, it feels really nutritious and lovely, and then I get this like calming aroma of lavender, and I have this beautiful sleep. Mainly women, I think, because it's a bit more scenty and things like that, although my husband loves the Ida. He likes a scent and things like that, whereas Frida, she's free of any essential oil, so that's sort of the play on
it
name.
Wasn't like an Ida or a Frida.
No,
I think it was more just, and again it's how it makes you feel. So we wanted everything from the experience of someone knowing their name and identifying them as people, because for us they are real people, because it's a labour of love. We've literally just gone through everything, made it to be the most perfect thing, and it's a symbolisation of what that product is meant to make you feel.
It's the feeling. That's what we're trying to ignite. When someone uses it, they feel something.
They feel something. And Frida, she's free of everything. So for someone who maybe feels a bit like we have a lot of people go, I've got really sensitive skin, I feel like, and I'm like, this Frida's perfect for you. Then she's going to nourish you, but in the most gentle way. It's very gentle. It's very it's very what's the word? It's very simple. And
back to basics,
very back, and sometimes men prefer that kind of like she sort of smells more lavendery but earthy, and it feels maybe a bit more masculine. Like a lot of people have it after Frida, after like shaving. You've said a lot of people have reported back after like a workout, sort of like
post training, if you're training.
I've used it on my face before a couple of times. And
Frida, the non-scented one. Yeah.
And Jade, actually, we were on holiday. We took it on holiday. Phoebe had a rash, and she put it on it, gone.
And it goes, yeah.
This is the thing. I think when we started, it was like we wanted to create something that we could all use. Like being mums, you tend to, put a lot of time and attention and spend on your children. You feel a bit sometimes guilty doing it to yourself. So we were like, right, well, what can we create that everybody can use, right? So, you're purchasing this pot of tallow, but ultimately you can use it, your husband can use it, the kids can use it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone can use it, and it's so natural.
Yeah.
And I think also like building rituals into your day is a really big thing. Yeah. So for me, like bath time is so important, and I will have a bath with the girls, and then we get out and we get dry, and then we put our pajamas on, and then we all dip our fingers into a pot of Salcombe Tallow, and it just feels so lovely. Like there's been so many times before where I've been buying stuff for myself or whatever, and I'm like, oh, girls, you can't touch that. It's like constant, don't touch that. And I'm like, it just feels so lovely, because I feel like at that age, I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. It's monkey see, monkey do. Like they watch what you do and they just want to do the same. It's the same like if we put like a little bit of like blush on or something, we go into an event and it's like, oh, mummy, can I have some of that on? And I'm like, I want them to see me do something, and then they're going to copy and understand how to nourish themselves from a really young age. And I think just building that ritual, if you do that in the morning, or if you do, and even when you're on holiday, like we've had amazing feedback about After Sun with the tallow. It's just because it takes that information out of the skin. If it has sat in your skin sat in the sun, then it's a bit too long, gone rosy. And again, it's just like putting it on with your child after a day at the beach. And
so it's got like multiple uses, really.
Multiple uses. Yeah, it's for everyone.
Is there anything surprising? This is a later question, but I thought I'd throw it in there. Is there anything surprising that you found that it sort of does that you didn't think it was good? You didn't know?
Well, do you know what? I had this conversation with my dad yesterday. We were talking about tallow, and it's not our product, but tallow in general. He was like, I used to work with a guy. Well, no, actually, he's one of his best friends. Love him. And he died a couple of years ago. It was one of my dad's best friends. And he was a carpenter, and he worked with my dad. My dad's a painter decorator, and had this beautiful relationship. They'd bring their like tea and biscuits in every day, and they'd sit and they'd chat about life, and it was just so lovely. And he was called Terry, and he used to use tallow to wax his nails, so that it would go.
I wonder where you were going with that.
They spoke about everything. And
wax his nails.
They would wax the nails
before he drills it in.
For joiners.
Nails.
No, it's for like so many things.
Cool.
For joiners. And I said to Emma, how funny it would be if we did like a newsletter or something. It was like, it would be called like 101 things you can do with tallow. So much that you can do.
Not that you want to put our tallow on your nails, because it'd be a bit of a waste.
Don't put towels.
But I think there is so much, and I think we've said, I mean, our customers, they use it literally on nails. I know Stevie was messaging, she's been putting it on her nails. She said, my nails have been beautiful. Obviously dry hands, like I said, dark age spots. As you're getting older, sometimes you get dark sort of age spots and all that kind of stuff.
Pregnancy, again, I think a big thing for tallow is non-endocrine disruptive, which means it doesn't affect your hormones. So it's so safe for if you're trying to conceive, so like your fertility journey, it's not affecting them hormones and things like that. During pregnancy, it's really safe for you and baby. Post-pregnancy, so like if you have had to have a cesarean or something like that, like healing, or just in general, moisturising, and then for babies and things like that, and also menopause as well. A lot of people are, finding that these hormone disruptive ingredients and things in other cosmetic brands and other just highly processed foods and things like that are really affecting their menopause journey. And I think a lot more people are talking about that now. So that's a really big thing. I think, again, we've had feedback on. It's just so nice that it's something, and we just wanted a product that people could trust all stages of life, not just women, men as well. And again, when we talk about fertility journeys, it's not just the woman, it's the man as well. And these endocrine disruptive ingredients really affect sort of like sperm production and all sorts. So it's for everyone.
Building that awareness.
I just think we're coming into this period where everyone's so aware of everything. And I think we were talking about earlier on that like there's so many movements of people moving over to, I'm not saying that people don't use like Lynx Africa anymore or whatever, but like people
Yeah.
just really
Yeah.
looking into like, oh, I've got this, like, I'm not just gonna spray this under my armpits without because my mate's using it or
This is
whatever,
it.
you know. So
Well,
Yeah.
just questioning
Yeah.
things now.
Yeah.
I think
It's
And-
really powerful, actually. I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. Just question everything because why not? Like,
Yeah.
I think knowledge is power, and we're not always going to get it right. But I think that's the whole point of evolving and, like we say, changing and renewing. Like, you do something because you feel like that's the best thing at the time, and then new research comes in, and you know. But I think the only consistent thing, my personal opinion, the only consistent thing that links back is nature. And I think returning to that is actually the safest thing to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been going as Salcombe Tallow?
6 months max. We have this conversation all of the time, don't we? Because it's like, when did we register the company? But we started. I think we when you make a product, you send it in for testing.
Yeah.
So there's a big process that
Oh, right.
goes.
So is it, and obviously do you have to make it in a certain controlled environment to an
Yeah.
extent,
Yeah.
without being too clinical?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We have like a it's called like a product information file when you decide you want to create a product, and you have to, like you said, make it in a specific environment. Obviously, make sure that environment's clean and all of these things, that you're using the right kind of utensils and equipment. But we sent our products in for testing, I want to say June, 3 months before that. So it was around March. So we were doing a little bit, we created some for friends and family. We sent it to friends and family to see what they thought. You know, in some samples we added a bit more olive oil, in other samples we added a bit more tallow, just to get everyone to get a feel for what one they liked. And then we sent it off for testing in March. That came back in June. So we couldn't actually make really any sales until that point, because you have to go through this pith report where you have to have all of this information collated. And then there's something called the CPSR, which is a portal where you upload your cosmetics product. You can't just make something, or you shouldn't just make something and sell it. It has to be registered on the portal, and you have to, you know what it's like, tick all the boxes and do all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
So it's very new. So our first sales only went out in June. And what are we now? August.
Yeah.
So it's literally been a few months.
Yeah, we kind of did proof of concept. We knew we loved it. We'd got some great feedback and things like that. And so the way in which we launched it was we did a 100-pot exclusive 100-pot launch. And we literally sold out in 3 days. So we were like, well, that's proof of concept. People want this. So we opened up a few more, didn't we? We kind of hit capacity. We were right, 150 is our capacity. We wanted a soft launch as well.
Yep.
And we didn't want to overwhelm ourselves.
Because of the production, I suppose, is going to be hard, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're labelling everything ourselves. We're
Yeah.
potting everything ourselves. You know, we kind of estimate how long it's going to take us per pot, but we don't really know until we do it. So we did that first. So we put made sure all our background checks were done and safety reports and everything. And then we did our 100-pot launch, got it out there, and then we just got lots of feedback from that as well. So constant learning, and then it sort of just gone off from there.
It's gone from there. I think it's as well because it's something different, and like you guys said, people are a bit more aware.
Yep.
It's like they're becoming more self-aware. They're thinking about all of these things now, which is brilliant.
And it's not just a product as well, is it? I think with the Salcombe Tallow, again, one of our values is like, we don't just want to sell a product.
Yeah.
It's
You want to believe in it as well.
it's a lifestyle, and this is why we talk so much about our story, isn't it?
I mean, your socials are on point. I know there's probably, not saying your socials
No,
are
I'm not social.
I only say
I'm
that
not
because
the
I've seen,
visuals.
because you were doing the travel stuff, weren't you? And it looks reasonably
The
similar.
images.
Yeah.
But this is the key
That's just
thing.
all on phone?
That's all on my iPhone.
Yeah. I think this is the key
Why
thing
can't I
about
take
any.
photos like that?
Yeah, I say the same
Neither
thing.
do I.
She'll have me in no joke. she faffs around photos like you wouldn't believe, and she'll literally be taking photos. She'll go, no, you got to stand there and you got to, and your hand movements
She's one
not
of
the
those.
same, and I'm just like, oh, so, but actually, what comes out of it is amazing.
Whereas you're like me, you're just like one take.
Just take it,
That'll
done.
do.
This
There's
is
a
it.
fly on the camera, that's fine.
That's fine.
I've had to slow Emma down a lot. So like, I'll be like, right, could you
I'm very
whisk the
quick.
tallow? And she's like,
Yeah.
like that. And I'm like, could you just make it a little bit more like, I know, just angelic, and like, you know, like
slow
people
down.
want to see the whisking process. It's like, and she's like, oh, okay.
Still whisking like 100
Like
miles
still
an hour.
really slow, but
I think this is the beauty in what we're doing, because I think because people are becoming more self-aware, and people, we didn't realise it at the time, and I certainly didn't realise it years ago when I moved to Devon, but that whole shift in environments and living in the environment in which we live, which is just so beautiful, it's like people want a part of it, that it's like they want to come on that journey and understand it. So they're not just buying tallow, they're like buying...
They're buying your lifestyle.
Well, it's not even, I would say, our lifestyle, but it's just the lifestyle of farm life, farm living.
How I would describe it, how do I put it? So when I see your content, it is invigorating. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, someone, maybe even if someone's living in London, when I said they want your lifestyle, it's sort of, maybe that is the right thing to say. I don't know. It's like you're selling them a part of, you know, the dream or something like that.
It's a feeling you're evoking,
Yeah,
isn't it? That
exactly.
you really want them to kind
Yeah.
of engage in. And
we definitely wanted to inspire and bridge the gap between like something that's unachievable. You know, you see all these beautiful cosmetic products sometimes, and you see these, like, you know, beautiful people advertising them and all of this, and we just wanted something that was like real. And this is why we say there's a farm behind the balm. It's not just about looking pretty and putting it on and having the glow every day. It's actually just about, like, you know, these farmers are out there every single day. You know, we're stomping in mud, we're also working mums, we're juggling life. Like, as much as it's nice to create beautiful content that evokes a feeling, I think also evoking that feeling of being really relatable and inspiring people to go, look, you can thrive in nature. You haven't got to come and live on a farm, but these are the small changes that maybe you could do. And hey, maybe you might want to live on a farm one day. Like, you know, Emma inspired me. She was one of my first inspirations. We used to come down and visit her on the farm, and then, you know, it obviously provoked that feeling in me, and I went, hang on a minute, if she can do it, I can do it. And hopefully we maybe can do that to someone else, if that's what they aspire to do. But that's very much it. We don't like to hard sell our product. It's actually just about
Sharing the story.
Sharing our story,
Exactly.
and inspiring people to shift their mindset into just returning to nature.
What I like about it is your story. Like, you're not,
It's real, isn't it?
you're not bullshitting anyone. You know?
Yeah.
You're literally just. It's almost like your content is almost like documenting your own lives.
This is it.
Yes,
Yeah, and
exactly.
I feel exactly that. And I think we spoke about this, didn't we? I think before we came here, but the whole life gets better when you make a change. It's like, it doesn't get better by chance, it gets better, but it gets better by change. And I think normally that comes to changing the environment, which is what I did, because it was like I wanted something different. And then obviously Camilla coming and then seeing that and going, oh, actually, could this be something that I want to do? And you've then done it. And interestingly, when I first moved to the farm, I've done many different things, but one of the things I really wanted to do was to share how beautiful it was, because at that point, I mean, we had people coming and visit, but it, you know, not for any length of time, but it was like, how could I portray that? And because I, like you said, you know, quick photo, flies on it and all sorts of stuff, it just didn't work. Where actually, fast forward like 8 years on, and it's funny how the universe rewards movement, isn't it? And how it's all come together now, and it's like, wow, that's actually
I think we talk about
powerful.
this a lot, about me and Emma's collaboration, and actually our timing as well. Me moving down, Emma being on the farm, and within Salcombe Tallow we have our roles, and I kind of, Emma's, like you say, you always wanted to show people how beautiful it is and things like that, and I've kind of got that eye for like grabbing them really natural moments and showing people that. But Emma's an absolute powerhouse with all the other really, really important things, which would not have a company if it wasn't for her, but has this real passion for connecting with people as well, and all the suppliers and things like that, and she's so organised with all the behind, like with the website, and and I think, you know, we both couldn't have done it without each other.
No, it's strengths and weaknesses.
Of course
isn't
it is. Yeah. We were going to ask what sort of roles you've got, and it sounds like maybe you're more organisation and you're more like the
Creative.
creating the not facade, but the sort of
brand.
image.
Image. Yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely. But also like being working mums as well. We totally relate with each other. And yeah, I think the universe sort of has a bigger plan than we ever realise. And you're always the one who sort of has said that to me for a really long time. And when sometimes things feel like, where is this going, just actually taking that leap, like you guys did moving down, and then we moved down, and I wasn't quite sure how my career, where that was going to go. And I took a little career gap just to figure out, we didn't really have a support system, so I had to be there for the girls and settling them in. And then this has happened. And if someone said to me a year ago, you're going to launch your own cosmetic brand and be doing a podcast, I'd be going, what? So yeah, I think just trusting in that process and taking that leap, even though you're not quite sure where that.
You're never really sure.
Go.
Sometimes we're not sure.
Even so, yeah, even for us.
We've had some great conversations and connections just through people that we've met, and they've connected with other people. And we'll go on to some calls, won't we? And we'll be like, right, we're speaking to this company that's like a big company online, that is like a wellness company, and they're potentially looking at stocking our balm. And we're like, are we going to be able to facilitate? Can we supply them with what they're looking for and all of this kind of stuff?
But I think, it's taking them opportunities when they come and going, let's just be brave and working it out a little bit, but also being really honest and being like, look, this is who we're Emma and Camilla, and this is what we've created so far with, like you say, an iPhone and a farmhouse kitchen. And we have so much passion, and but also I think it's us a reality check of like, wow, like also these people that have these companies also started where we are, and they are just people, and they want, and a wellness space feels really lovely, doesn't it? Like everyone we've connected with have been just so nice and really supportive, and just, and maybe it's because of the aligning of values as well. Maybe they see the value of our product in a space, and I think that's what stands us out but with other similar tallow products is the story and the values and that. But yeah, is
there a bit of tallow competition on the market, or is it?
Do you know what? Interestingly, we're staying at Lucy and Andy's. We've come back and staying at our friends for the wedding that we're attending tomorrow. And I was speaking to Millie, who's like 22, 23, which is their daughter. Beautiful girl, got beautiful skin. And I was speaking to her about tallow, and I was asking her, does she know another tallow brand?
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I've never even heard of them. I don't really know what it is. So it's interesting. I think when you're doing something, it's it's your whole world.
Yeah, you're very aware of whoever.
You're very aware, and obviously all the algorithms show all of this stuff to you based on what you're searching and all of this kind of stuff. So it's in your face. But everybody else, it's like anything. Most people don't really understand and don't know anything about it. So again, it's that education, teaching people about what tallow is, what it can do, how it can benefit them, and not just them but their whole family.
People's lives are busy. I think there's, a lot of people aren't paying attention. You think you're right. You think they're paying attention. We think they're paying attention to what we're saying, but they're really not. And you've got to stand out.
Time, don't I? I say they're not. They're
People worry
too
about
busy in their own world.
You worry about what people think. They're not thinking about you. You've really got to grab their attention.
Well, this is it, and I think we do that via the story. That's where we make them feel something, which is what we always come back to.
You've got to evoke a
emotion. And we had this whole procrastination over the packaging. And we were like, start up, we're working on a budget, we're trying to create something that's going to evoke that, like, oh, that, that looks nice, that's intriguing, and things like that, something a little bit different. And we're procrastinating over, well, I'm procrastinating over more so, like tiny little details, like the snake's not quite in line with that letter, and blah, blah, blah. And Emma said to me, Camilla, we move, okay? And then we sent it off, and I went,
just have to keep moving.
I had a sleepless night, didn't I? I went up and stayed all night, the snake is wrong. And she went, we've sent it, we move, and we can change it in the future, but like no one is ever going to realise. And all we've had is feedback is, love your packaging.
That snake's out of line on that.
It's too big.
I told you, no, but it did. And this is, again, why it's so nice.
She just had to pull the trigger, didn't she?
She did. That's exactly what she had
We had to pull the trigger. We have to just keep moving. And that, I think, is a real key for just success is actually just move, just do it and learn. As long as you learn, and then you change things as you go. But actually, them small things that you really thought was a big deal to everyone else.
We've learned that.
I think unless it's an absolute howler of an error, then no one really cares.
Instead of tallow, you're all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think you're absolutely right. Those little things, although it's good to be attention to detail.
Yeah.
If you're procrastinating over it, you've just got to go with it.
And then it becomes overwhelming,
Of course,
right? And then I
yeah.
think that's what happens is people procrastinate, then they become overwhelmed.
You
and
talk
then
yourself
they
out of
stop.
it, and then you just go, "Oh, do you remember when we almost launched that tallow
This
brand?"
is it.
Yeah.
And then they stop. And interestingly, I was speaking to one of the mums back in Devon, one of my friends who's a farmer's wife. She's lovely. And I was talking to her about the tallow when we were first looking to start, because obviously, because we're using organic tallow, you have to get the right certificates from the abattoir. You know, there's lots of things that need to come into play. And she was telling me, she said, one of her friends was looking to do something similar, because obviously she was a farmer and she's got access to the fat. And she said she never did it. And I said, why did she never do it? And she said, because there was just so many loopholes.
Yeah.
There was so much paperwork.
I can imagine, yeah.
And there was all of this stuff. And then I think looking back now, it's just those little things. When you see it all together, it becomes really overwhelming. You procrastinate, you think, I can't be doing this. It's too much like hard work. But actually, just doing one small thing, which is what we did at a time. We tested it. We got proof of concept.
Yeah.
We then went on to the next step. We took it into testing. Even though there was people saying, just don't worry about getting it tested.
Yeah.
You need to know you can make sales first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's true. If we can't make sales, we haven't got a business. So we need to be able to sell. But the two of us were really passionate about, well, look, we want to make sure if we're going to sell it, we've got the belief that...
Dot the I's, cross the T's. This is good. You know.
It being tested, that could push back on you, right?
Exactly. And this is it. And I think this is sort of when you say, is there any other tallow products out there? There is definitely tallow products out there, but I've been using them for a while because it's all I could use, but I just wasn't happy with the quality. And actually even trying to source it back to like, right, so they say grass-fed tallow, but is it organic? Like, is it the purest? How are they rendering it? Are they mixing it with like, what is it stable? Like all these questions I have, because I really look into all of this stuff, which some people won't, and they won't care. But other people like myself and Emma, I'm sure you got like that, you look into these things, and that's what I think also inspired us to do it ourselves, because we were like, we want a product that is the highest quality, and we want to support local organic farming agriculture that we're just surrounded with every day. So it was
hard,
really, they work so hard, and we just want to almost honour that and be like, this is the best, and we've taken our time to do it. And it didn't, we're very passionate about the quality and the vigorous sort of like testing and making sure everything is how it should be.
I think also, like, when you do that, and you are thorough with it, and you do dot the I's, cross the T's, and make sure you've got all the certificates behind it, and it's the purest it can be. I just feel like that you can stand by it so much more, and you can someone going, what's the are they grass fed, and you're like, yeah, definitely. Whereas now you can go, they come from this abattoir, this is how they do it, these are you go back to the source.
And I think this is it. We just want Salcombe Tallow to be something in everyone's home that they totally trust on their newborn baby, or their 5-year-old, or their, I don't know, like their mum or their dad or whoever, and they go, it's safe, and it's so trusted. And
Salcombe's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Have you been to Salcombe before?
No, never.
You have to come and visit. It's so beautiful. So we have that whole thought of
where the hotel is, and the
where the estuary
it's like the Riviera, isn't it?
It is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, because you guys stayed there, didn't you?
You came to stay, and I think we say we take a pot of Salcombe, a piece of Salcombe home with you. I think a lot of people come to Salcombe and
they love that.
They love that. Yeah, they love that idea of but it's not Salcombe as like, it's not it's not synthetic Salcombe. Like, I'll take a picture because it looks pretty. It's actually totally supporting everything what is Salcombe is about, and South Hams and South Devon. You're taking that agriculture and you're supporting all them local farmers and beekeepers and things like that. Home with you.
When you said the only thing you could use? Was that because of allergies? I don't know, something.
Say that again.
When you said earlier on, it's one of the only things you could use, tallow.
Yeah.
Is it to do with allergies or stuff like that?
Yeah, I've always had really sensitive
Yeah.
skin. So I've started, like, from a really young age, like eczema and things like that. And I struggled. Yeah, I'd have like flare-ups thing, and then I looked at my diet. I kind of went through all the normal, procedures people do. And then I think doing my own research, realizing that the skin is the biggest organ, and actually whatever you put on it absorbs. Also, having children, you have this, and I think with yourself, you kind of, you go, I'll do it for a bit sometimes, and then life takes over, or you're working and things like that. But when you have a child, you have this overwhelming responsibility of looking after them and realizing they are like this blank canvas, and you are literally like planting the seeds to the rest of their life, and their immune system and everything you feed them and you put on their skin, it has detrimental effects as they grow. You go, okay, like, what do I kind of do? So that's, I think, I was always into it anyway, but that was a big shift for me to go, right, what am I putting on my skin? What am I putting on my children's skin? And where do we go from here? So that's when I found tallow. So like sun creams and things like that. I only use tallow sun creams, and we're testing it at the moment, so we make our own sun creams for our families. I went to Greece earlier in the year, and the girls use all of our own Salcombe Tallow sun creams. That will kind of be hopefully our next.
So you could there's scope for broadening the range.
There's so many things, Paul. Yeah, loads of things.
You always say nutritious. Can you use it for cooking?
Yeah.
You make cooking products?
Yeah. You can buy tallow in a jar and use it for cooking.
Yeah.
They do that now. So we when we render the fat, so when we double boil the fat, so the fats, we chop it into chunks, we blitz it, so it's a bit like mincemeat, and then we double boil it, and the oil comes off, and the mincemeat bit, so the sort of gristly bit, I suppose,
that doesn't melt down.
I put my mum, she'll put that in the oven, and then the fat that comes from that we put in a jar, and we use that to cook with.
Yeah, and then the leftover, like either bit just that can't melt down, we'll mix it in with bird feed, and we give it to the birds on the farm, or we've got loads of dogs on the farm, so we make it as dog treats.
Good for dogs.
So there's honestly so much.
It sounds like a massive.
And so there's absolutely almost zero waste, basically.
This is the sustainability side of what we've created.
Yeah.
And how we try and build that as well into the story and what we're doing.
Yeah.
What's the world going to look like in 5, 10 years time, when our kids, or 20 years time, or 30 years time, when our kids are grown up, and they're having to navigate it and sort out all the crap and the things that we got wrong. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's really important that we try and encourage that and go, right, okay. They talk about it a lot with regards to using any meat, or we have a friend of ours that does supplements that takes the organs from the animal, and he freeze dries them, makes them into supplements, and they say nose to
tail. So use the whole part of the cow.
So there's no wastage. Nothing's going to waste. It's all being used to be recycled in a sense, and going back into our bodies.
Yeah, and I think there's a big movement. And now, when you mentioned about what can you use, like with tallow, they're talking about with your skincare. Can you eat your own skincare? Right. Would you really? Think of it the other way around? Think of your face cream, whatever face cream you use right now, or your shampoo. Would you eat it? Like,
so
no.
You're saying,
why
would you put it on your body if you wouldn't?
If you can't eat it, because your skin is your biggest organ, and it absorbs just like putting something in your mouth. So if you wouldn't put your shampoo in your mouth, or your face cream, or your body cream, why would you put that on your skin? So for us, it might not taste very nice, especially with lavender, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not damaging to put it.
Eat it.
Lee's going to have a head and shoulder sandwich. Right?
Yeah.
You haven't tasted the Lynx Africa baguette.
So but when you said, like, with my skin, what was it? The only thing I could use. It was just, for me. Then with my children, you think about when they're, again, it's the whole ritual thing. So like I want them to put that on their skin, and they love rubbing it in and they love getting their fingers in, but then their fingers go directly in their mouth and all of these things. And I'm like, hang on a minute, like this, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. And even like when they talk about kids playing in mud and on the farm, you know, and it's all great for their immune system. They should be having dirt under their nails all the time because it's great for their immune system. So yeah, bringing up resilient kids that just like to get involved and not have any fear of like, oh, don't do that, don't do this, sort of, i.e. because you think, why am I saying that? Why am I saying don't put your hand in that pot and put it on your skin? Why is that? It's because of harm. We try and protect from it. It's a natural instinct. We protect our children, don't we? And I think that surely is a sign to go, because it's not safe.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so getting the brand out there, obviously you're using Instagram and socials and stuff like that. Is that your main avenue for
We are
getting it
literally
out?
just Instagram. We need to get a bit more down with the kids for like TikTok and stuff like that. We do a little bit of Facebook, but we sort of just link our Instagram, and it's just website.
Yeah.
I'm not sure TikTok's really like
Well, it was
on brand. Do you know what I mean? Like TikTok's a bit cheesy to me.
Yeah, I think it's just, this is the thing, isn't it? It's where are our audience? Where are the people that we're trying to connect with? And because it's mums, we say 35 to 45, they're on, normally 90% are probably on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's where we spend the majority of our time. And I also think sometimes when you're trying to be everywhere, you're not anywhere, are you? Because you're trying to do all these different things.
That was it. We had that advice from a business owner. She said just do one thing at a time, but just do it really well. So that's I think
we'll stick with that. But I do think it's about, you know, we build as much as we can a list of customers, and we have lots of opt-ins on our website to get people in
Subscribe
to our world.
Yeah, building that list
And
is a big thing.
We started newsletter last week, and we send emails out regularly. So we try and connect via emails and
local communities. I've seen you doing some like stands of fairs and
farmers markets. Again, sport. I think again, Salcombe's very much about supporting other local small businesses as well. So going to the farmers market, it was so nice, wasn't it? Because there was all these other stalls of like the local bakers, florists. There was a lady who was doing, she designs her own hemp clothing, you know, all of this stuff, and it just feels really lovely, doesn't it? It feels like you say, it's a community. So yeah, tapping into the community, a little bit of Instagram, and then like you say, just drawing people once they're in our world, and they like start again, just connecting with them, building that story.
You can feel that you are the brand. Do you know what I mean?
I think
at the end of the day, you girls are the brand. So where would you hang out? Are you on TikTok? You're not on TikTok. Don't be on TikTok.
It's true, actually.
But then I do think the thing is with tallow, the beauty of it is it's so diverse, right? So where we live, there's a big rugby scene where we live.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to one of the guys that runs the CrossFit gym, and he's very connected with all the rugby players, and he was like, this would be amazing for all the players, especially when they're all cut and bruised and all of that after their rugby matches, like at the Chiefs stadium and all of that, to get it on their skin. So it's because it's so diverse. Obviously we only talk to one person that we feel we can talk to based on our own experiences and mums and everything else, but there's so many people that can use it, like even from you know, my teenager who is on TikTok, whose friends are buying tallow on TikTok, right? So that it's so vast. But I just think it's all a learning curve, isn't it? We're just working it out as we go. We're doing the one avenue at the moment, but that's not to say that, you know, that won't change as we evolve.
And I think it's actually building a bit of a structure around our social media that, you know, for us, it's easy to put out content that's relatable for us, but like Emma said, it's going, okay, well, what other angles come? I don't know if you guys, again, with your social media and things like that, it's like, you know, it could be so beneficial for so many people. How do we structure that to kind of like to reach all them people? Because ultimately, where are they seeing it? You know, are these people on it? Are they, you know, and we have found that the target market is the mum that buys the product for the rest of the family, and then once it's a bit like you, like Jade bought it,
I've used it, Phoebe uses it,
and then you go, then you might pay attention, go, Salcombe Tallow, okay, and then you might look them up on Instagram, or you may absolutely not, but it seems like the mum, the working
She
mum.
kind of like the entry point
It's the
to the
entry
family.
point.
Hey, we've run out of tallow. Can you get some more?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what Matt's like.
Exactly. And we've had a similar conversation with it's a great brand. It's called Ape Nutrition, and he's been amazing with us. We've sort of met him, and he does organ meat supplements, and he mentioned to us about the people that are the most influential for sales, and he's got like professional rugby guys, and they'll post about it, and they might get a few more follows or 1 or 2 orders, but there's a couple of influencers, like working mum influencers, that have podcasts and talk about nutrition all the time, and that's what they do, and that's their life, and they'll put a post on and they'll sell out. Like, it's so influential because that's what people are following, it's what they're doing, whereas elite athletes are just training every day. They're not kind of in that, they're not paying attention to it. So it's, where's your avenue in, and then it's sort of from there, where does that go? But we're just learning as we go.
So if all goes to plan, in 5 years' time, what is the dream scenario? What does it look like?
We spoke about this, didn't we? We were talking about having, like, we'd love to have like a big event where it's not just tallow, it's wellness, it's well-being, it's a lifestyle, and having people come where we do all our, all of the things that we do to help ourselves feel better, managing our thoughts and feelings, do you know what I mean? Cold plunging and getting out in the sun, and all of this kind of stuff, and the grounding, and then the tallow's all part of it. But I think we're looking to, obviously, hopefully by the end of this year, we're going to put another product in for testing, which will be an SPF cream.
Lovely.
So that we will be able to start running with, I imagine, the beginning of next year. We also want to be able to, when people use tallow, because at the moment it's a cream, it's a moisturiser, it's a balm. So what are they washing with? So if we're trying to get them away from chemicals, it's like, what can they wash their face with to then apply their moisturiser afterwards?
So maybe like some sort of soap or
we're
something
looking
like
at
that,
a soap, a tallow soap. So we're looking to put that through by the end of the year as well. So I think it would just be build on the product line. So we've got some more products, and just create a bit of a community, really, of people that are really bought into this whole well-being, this whole, nature. Yeah, the lifestyle of, you take matters into your own hands. You can control what you're using, you can control how you think, you can control how you feel. You haven't got to listen to all these other people that tell you should be doing this or you should be doing that. I think that's really powerful.
Stepping away and being brave enough to step away from what people think is normal, what is normal, and just go with your gut instinct. And like I said earlier, the most consistent thing, I think, is nature. Reverting back to nature and trusting in it, I think is only a good thing. So
I think the biggest compliment I can pay you is that, from a business point of view, I've seen what you're doing, and I reached out to you because, honestly, from a business point of view, I can't see this failing, to be honest, because I see the passion in you, and I think the product's great, and I think the whole, again, we keep saying movement, but it's all going that way. Sometimes you see people start something and they're just sort of like messing around with it, don't really care. You're literally, this is
living and breathing.
It's part of your lives, isn't it? So,
amongst all the other stuff.
There's
a lot of other stuff.
So I can only compliment you on that, really. I think it's really gonna, the why I reached out to you is because I wanted to help, because I really think you're going to go places with this.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
But thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
It's been lovely.
You've taken our podcast virginity.
There we go.
We'll never forget it.
But we always end, I don't know if you saw, we always try and end on your favourite quote.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you?
Oh,
don't worry.
Or anything you like, you have something you live by, or...
Emma can do the quote for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think, for me, there's a lot, and I did see this, and I was thinking about it. There's a guy that's called Jim Rohn. Have you heard of Jim Rohn?
Yeah.
So he was an entrepreneur, also back in the 80s, I suppose. And he says, which is very powerful, which I think I've already said, life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. And I think change, it's good, isn't it?
Oh, Jade's going to listen to this. And
I think the change...
She's going to change.
Yeah, but the change, I think, comes with how you think and feel.
Yeah.
And I think the powerful thing about that is if you can change your thoughts and feelings, this is what I do with Mighty.
Yeah.
Manage your thoughts and emotions. We help kids to do just that. But if you can change your thoughts and feelings, then you have control over your future.
Is that a lot to do with your environment, do you think?
I think it's to do with lots of things. It can be, it can be your environment. Well, it's rewiring the subconscious, isn't it?
Would you be the same person if you were still in Leon Z?
I could, maybe not. Maybe not. It depends if I was to...
This is a different podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it depends if you're stepping into that awareness of... I'm not happy, I'm not feeling good, and my thoughts are negative. If I'm aware of that living in Leon C and I decide to change it, then everything can change. But I do think your environment plays a big factor, most definitely. The people that you hang around
Of course,
with
absolutely.
have a massive impact on
But
your
also,
life.
it's like you just said about the feeling, like we wake up in the morning, we're on the farm, we're putting our feet on the grass, and we're hearing the cows. And I always said to Emma, every time I came to Devon, it was my calm, happy place. And I was like, why is that? And I realised, what is my surroundings? What am I seeing? I'm just seeing green and blue and really calming colours, whereas I'm not getting, like, you're in London and you're bombarded so much, and subconsciously your brain is going
It's just
going.
media everywhere and
It's
adverts.
everything. So, you know, being Leon C, we love Leon C, and you know, there's so many beautiful memories there. But it's a lot. It's becoming busier, and it is becoming like a bit of a mini London. You're coming out of London, and you've got these restaurants and there's things going on, and it's great. But if you're in around that every day, then that is definitely a massive influential factor into your mindset and how you feel. So many variables, isn't there? But I love that quote.
Yeah, and mindset's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Got that sorted, you're all right.
if someone wants to buy some Salcombe Tallow, where do they get it from? Website.
Yeah,
Salcombe.
www.salcombetallow.com.
Lovely. And the Instagram at Salcombe Tallow.
Yeah, Salcombe Tallow. Yeah, Salcombe Tallow Co. Yeah.
Tune in to see Camilla's photography skills.
Yeah, my
To be
images.
fair, there's a couple of images of me that Emma has taken. So
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm on there somewhere. I am doing
Getting
something.
quite
Well, the crap ones, yeah.
Yeah. The ones with the flies all over it.
That's Emma.
Yeah.
That's Emma.
Yeah.
No, thank you so
Thanks
much
so
for
much.
coming on.
Yeah, thank you very
thank
much.
you for having
And
us so much.
we're over now. We're finished, and it's party time now, isn't it, tomorrow?
Thank you.